For this example, we're going to look at a line that's already been graphed, and we're going to use it to find the slope of that line. So remember that when we're finding slope, we're finding rise over run, and then what that means is how are the y values changing? Means we subtract the y's to find the difference. How do they change? We do the same thing to the x's. Subtract the x's to find how much those values change by. If we just have points, we can plug them into this formula, but if we have a graph, we can just count the boxes on the graph. If you do that, though, be careful what it's counting by. Like on this one, we're counting by ones on the x and ones on the y, so that's pretty easy, but always check to make sure what the graph is counting by before you start counting, because a box might represent 2 or 3 or 4 or more. So we can pick either point. I can start with this top point or the bottom one. It does not make a difference. And then I'm just going to count how many up and how many over to connect those dots. In some cases, this being one of them, I could also use other points that aren't necessarily given. Like this point here is an exact point. I could use that one, or I could use this one or this one or this one. Any of these points would work. And we get the same slope because they all make the same line. So let's just go ahead and use the 2 that it gave us, but then I'll show you how we could use other points as well. So I'm going to choose to start here, and we're going to rise first. So I need to rise till I'm even with the other point. So that's 1, 2, 3. So I have to rise 3, and then I have to run 1, 2, 3. I'm running 3, except left and down are negative. So I went left, so that's actually a negative 3. So I rose 3, I ran negative 3. I could reduce this. I can divide them both by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. Or I could have just done 3 divided by negative 3. Or 1 divided by negative 1 is just negative 1. So I can reduce my slope all the way down to negative 1. Just for example, let's look back at what if I had picked 2 different points on the graph. Let's say I had picked this point and maybe this one here. I'm going to rise first, so up or down first. So I'm going to go down 1. Since I went down, that's in negative direction, so negative 1. Then I'm going to run 1. That's in the positive direction, so that's positive 1. My rise was negative 1. My run was positive 1, which again still gives me a slope of negative 1. So it doesn't matter which points I choose. Once they're reduced, they're going to be the same slope.